I think it's funny that I just pulled up pulled up the Twitch stream so that I can, if anybody comes in the chat, that I can see the cat questions. And the ad was for fucking Subway. It looked like the ad looked like a mobile game at first. I was like, oh great, some like mobile game where it's like wizards or some shit, like fucking Candy Crusher with like you know what I'm talking about, and then fucking and it's just like Subway sliders $4. Like you motherfuckers, I don't want Subway. This fucking all I can think of now is Macaulay Culkin dressed up in a Subway polo holding a baby doll thing. I'm Jared from Subway. Fucking stupid shit. Jared, friend, and Petite, how you doing? I didn't mean to do that, Petite. I had a brain fart. Are you are you sitting on an E? I unfortunately do not have an Eevee blanket. I have a blanket that says "Boo" because I bought it when I worked. I bought it when I worked at Kroger because I just wanted a throw blanket that if I got cold, like when playing games, I get cold, I can just wrap it around me like a little old lady. I want to get one that's it's like fucking, it's patches with like horror movie posters and stuff on it. It was pretty cool. I saw it online once. It was like Friday the 13th. Up all the posters and like the different Jasons. It was pretty cool. Either that or the NES, the NES blanket, something like that. Anywho, your audio borked. Jet's audio borked. It borked. Apparently audio borks like your dog's. Ah, I see that. SCZ. You might be all asking yourselves, Vlass, Rockstar, where the fuck were you guys last Friday? Let me tell you. Let me tell you, we did stream that Sunday. We actually hung out. We do know each other in real life. We went and hung out. We went and saw Joker. We saw Joker this last Friday, and Jet's back. Yay! Uh, yeah, Jet. The reason why we weren't here last week for a game was because of fucking. We went and saw Joker. It was totally worth it. Well, it was fucking awesome. So good. And I bought a lot of books, and Vlast is like, God damn it, stop buying books. And I'm like, fuck you. You bought 50 tea bags. Are they really good? You got the HP Lovecraft one, didn't you? Was it? Yeah, what was it again? Was Vlast, you seem to be muted. Jack can hear me, but he can't hear you. But
How about now? Can you hear me now? I tried something different. Should be able to hear me now. Yes,
yeah,
okay. I had it on a different.
see, where's Vlast? Who's Vlast? Oh, Vlast.
Right.
He
I'm not
died in
here.
'97 in a car crash. It's the Sixth Sense.
He's in the same place as Bill's left testicle.
It's back in fucking Germany. Yeah, he flashed. Unless German
Okay.
grenade and forward to anyway. Okay, so just a little side note. Yes, if you haven't seen Joker yet, we're not being paid. We're not being
No
endorsed by these
sponsors.
guys. We're not sponsored. We just went and saw it. It's it's a really well written, acted, directed movie.
It's a
It's
slow
very
burn.
it's a very slow paced movie. and I'm gonna warn you, if you're squeamish on violence, when the violence happens, it's sudden and it's just holy shit.
Yeah. Like the
It's not
entire
like
the entire theater was like, "Oh shit." So,
um. Do you want to tell you? Should we tell them about like before we get started about like how I almost had a fucking heart attack when we went and got tickets? We
uh
went to our seats. So the movie theater we go to is Cinemark. It's like the best fucking movie theater down here, and they have assigned seats and they have chairs that recline. It's so fucking comfortable. Side note: last wanted to go to Market, this place called Market Commons because they have Cold Storm. I told them no, you can have Dippin' Dots at the mall and be happy about it. They're joking around, but so we were gonna go to an earlier showing because they're like, okay, we'll go to the 8 o'clock showing so we can come back, do a live stream, and then we've seen the movie live stream. Didn't happen because the seats, there was no good seats except for all the way in the way front.
there
We didn't want to sit for
yeah,
2 hours with our heads
I'm not
cranked
sitting
up.
for 2 hours like this. I'm not doing that.
No.
That
So
hurt.
we went we went to the 9 o'clock and we picked seats and it said handicap. I'm like, all right, they're letting us pick them. We go in there and I'm like, why the fuck does it have a handicap symbol on the chair? I'm like, don't tell me I'm taking handicap. I was like, oh wait, oh thank God, because there was like empty spaces. Like that's where the wheelchairs go. I was like, Jesus Christ. I had like a mini heart attack. It's like, I don't want to steal some guy's seat who wanted to go see Joker and is in a wheelchair. And it's like, I don't forget to leave the hospital. I have to go back now. I was like, God damn it. This is like that shit would happen to me. Of course it would.
It would. It'd be my luck
So,
too.
yeah. But anyway, we just like kind of hung out. We got dinner and we just kind of walked around. We went to Books a Million. I was kind of looking around for books and last God, you picked up, it wasn't the Doctor Who. Which one was it you picked up?
No, I picked up the book on the Daleks.
Oh, you did pick up the book. Yeah, you
Yeah.
picked up a book by Daleks, and we just literally open it. It's just exterminate, exterminate, exterminate over and over and over and over and over again. And he picked up the tea.
Yes. I do not regret it.
Uh, we're doing good, Petite.
Doing
We're
good.
talking. We're just talking about why the fuck we weren't live streaming last week. We did it Sunday. We finished. We did the other half of. We were here. We were there. Um, good game. I have to pick up. We got to pick up the sequel, so we can do that one too.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you haven't, if you want to check, if you're curious about it, go check out Joker. It's well worth the money.
It is.
It's well worth the money. Uh, anyway, since it's October and yours truly, Rockstar, loves horror, I decided. I told Vlas, I said, why don't we do a scary, like do some scary stuff for Halloween because it's October because it's Halloween and it's spooky stuff. So there's a podcast I listen to. We mentioned it in our very first episode, which if you haven't checked out, if you missed previous past episodes, check it here on the highlights, or you can check it on Vlas's YouTube channel.
Oh, that's might make it a command. But
We talked about our favorite podcast, and one of them I mentioned was Ghoul Intentions, hosted by voice actors J. Michael Tatum and Jamie Marquis, which they actually were just in a recent video game that was a big hit last month, Borderlands 3. J. Michael Tatum is Sir Hammerlock, and Jamie Marquis is Ellie. They have a podcast where they drink Moscow mules and they talk about haunted places. They talk about ghost stories. So I figured we do as a kind of like homage slash inspiration. We would do our own. So me and Vlas went ahead. We picked a haunted location. We have her going to talk about them in depth of history, brief history, known haunted sites, and our own opinion and the other's opinion. So I'm gonna let Vlas go first because he told me his this morning, and I think I've heard about this place, but I might be confusing it with a different place. But I'm just curious because it really got me curious, and I looked up nothing about his place.
game in it, doing YouTube things, trying to find my YouTube user link because it's not what I think it is.
And side note, the one I picked like a couple days ago, I just changed it like 5 minutes ago.
He did.
Because I have a magazine I picked up when I went to a grocery store, I think back in June, and it's called America's Scariest Places. It has a bunch of haunted places. I didn't want to do like well-known places like Alcatraz is here, and the Amityville Horror House, or the Lizzie Borden House, or Sally's House. Those types of like ones that are just they're well known, or there's movies based on them, or like that kind of shit. I wanted places that where like it's something different. It's something I've never heard of because I really haven't. I've only skimmed through this magazine like once in a blue moon. I skimmed through it, but it was just like it was a impulse buy because I just looked at it and I was like, if I don't buy it now, I'm never gonna see it again.
Here we go.
Okay,
Did the thing.
he did a thing. So Vlas, take it away.
Okay, so my haunted place is Bovalia Island. And it's an island off the coast of Italy, about half a mile away from Venice, in the lagoon around Venice. And back back in the 17th and 18th century, the island was a place where the people who were ridden with plague and other illnesses were taken, and then they were given care. So there's a hospital here, there's a few other old buildings, but the main thing that's here is a giant bell tower. It's actually the remains of a church built in the 12th century, which was demolished. The church that was attached to it was demolished in 1806, but the bell tower remained. And it was said that if you were taken to the island and you heard the bell, it means you were going to die. So the island was a quarantine station in the 18th century because the plague was discovered. And it was sealed off. It was used to host people with infectious diseases, leading to, now I'm quoting, leading to legends of terminally ill Venetians waiting to die before their ghosts returned to haunt the island. So what they did here was they had these plague pits, and they would stick the bodies of the dead people who had plague in the pit, and they would burn them. So and this would be done on a massive scale, on about 100 to 160,000 people were estimated to have been killed. Well, were estimated to have died here. And it's said that anywhere you walk on Poveglia Island, you'll be walking on dead things, dead bodies, ashes of dead bodies, etc. So, and there's also in the hospital there, a doctor allegedly performed crude lobotomies on the experiments and experiments with patients. And he would apparently perform these lobotomies on the patients, and the nurses would look on like, what the fuck is going on? This dude's not right in the head. But they would continue to go on with their work anyways. And then all of a sudden, the doctor just jumped off the bell tower in the 1930s because after the island had been closed as a plague quarantine, it was eventually had an insane asylum built on it. And I'm sure if there were ghosts and specters on the island, it didn't help the mentally insane people. And the doctor jumped off the bell tower after claiming he had been driven mad by ghosts. But he survived the fall and then was paralyzed, and then he died. So, and then even today, people still think they can hear the bell, even though the bell has been removed from the bell tower, and they can still see specters and ghosts, and they'll see the doctor, and they'll see people waiting to be thrown into these pits or whatever. It's the place I originally heard this detailed it a lot better because it was scripted. I did not script this. But yeah, it's pretty damn gruesome if you actually look into it. Like there's been many stories written on it. There's been graphic novels, books. Is there a movie? No. Graphic novels. But yeah, it's pretty dark, and there's the rumors about the specters and ghosts are so prevalent that people won't even build on it. Because in 2015, a private group hoped to raise 25 to 30 million euros to build on it, like public park marina and stuff to make it livable, like luxury amenities and stuff, and it still sits
Uh,
vacant.
hold on, I'm gonna cut you off because a big chunk of that was just your stream froze.
Seriously?
Yeah, and you cut off.
My upload probably dropped again. I don't know what is going on, but my internet has been doing this lately. Like, how long was I out?
About 20 seconds.
Like, where did it stop?
You were saying, like, is there a film adaptation? No, there's not, but there's this, and then it's just like graphic novels, and then you're about to start something, and then it's just like
Oh,
can't
oh,
right
probably
there.
okay. But yeah, there's no film adaptation, but there are graphic novels and actual books written on it, and a private group is trying to raise money to build on it, and it still sits vacant. So
Well,
these
no shit,
yeah, these
Sherlock.
the ghost inspectors and urban legends are very prevalent. Like Venetians won't even go to the island. So what?
just, just imagine you tell a Venetian, hey, hey, you just want an all expense vacation. Oh, great. But it's a secret, so we got to blindfold you and put this loud heavy metal music on you. Oh, okay. And you bring them to the fucking islands, like, welcome to this. And they're like, what the fuck? And they're running like in a fucking Looney Tunes, like they're running on top of the water.
Oh my god.
I just imagine.
But yeah, the hospital is still standing, and so is the old bell tower. So if you actually are able to get to the island, you can walk around and see the old hospital, the old bell tower, and maybe even see a ghost or several. You never know until you go. So yeah, that's Poveglia Island in a nutshell. But while you're doing your thing, I'm gonna get the actual podcast episode that I heard about it. Chat.
Hmm. Well, I want to just my. Yes, I've actually heard of this island, but not like a lot of the details. I knew about the bell tower. I think it was from a Ghost Hunters episode way
Prob.
back when they first started. Um, the whole doctor jumping off. Actually, I want to. No, they haven't. I was thinking because I watch on YouTube. It's BuzzFeed Unsolved. I watch those guys because they do supernatural and true crime. They just uploaded a new episode, which I watched, which was pretty good. Where
Yeah.
I like that show. I like that YouTube show because of the fact that one guy, the guy Ryan, is very, very suspicious. Like he believes in ghosts and stuff. But the other guy Shane just does not give two shits to the point he will fucking tell demons to fuck off.
Nice.
He's been to the fucking Sally house, which is like one of the number one most haunted, demonic places in America. And then they
Yeah.
went to the basement with an actual like psychic, not a psychic, a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "You want to lay on the pentagram?" And the Shane's just laying there. Here we go, rock and roll, buckaroo. Laying on
Nice.
a fucking pentagram, well, symbol where the pentagram was, and then like they did the flashlight thing. It's like, if you want to eat me and Ryan, please, turn on the light. And they turn on the light. He's like Ryan, it's on. Like fucking jokingly, like, are you fucking? It's a fucking demon. But anyway,
So that
I
I
think
posted a link to the episode. The
isn't
guy
that
does
the
the
one
guy
you?
does really good.
Is that the one we were listening to in the
Yeah.
car? Okay,
Yeah.
I still gotta subscribe to that podcast because we were listening to, and I'm gonna vouch for Blast. It's very, very good. It's very creepy sounding, and it's sort of like how Ghoul Intention is too. I'm interested in like old buildings and history and stuff like that because if it intrigues me, I will stick around. So like that's like Ghoul Intentions. It's good because of they will go dive into architect and history of the house and the people who've owned it and the hauntings and all that shit. And it's so good. The one Vlass listens to, it's more really creepy, but it's like real accountants of it, but it's recorded like something you see like on like those creepy pastas online type of deal
Hmm.
where it's real, but it's not anyway. My opinion, I'm not going to that fucking island.
Right.
I mean, I probably would just look at the architect, but if I hear a fuck bell tower,
The island is frequently featured on paranormal shows. Yeah, that's probably where you heard about it. Visits to the
wait,
island are prohibited, but yet
so no one's allowed to go there, pretty much.
no one's allowed to go there.
But people
Doesn't
do
mean
because
you
they're fucking.
can't go there.
Hey guys, let's go to the haunted island. I got beer. Let's have sex.
Oh my god.
Oh no, let's leave the boat. Let's leave the boat motor running so we can listen to fucking LMFAO all damn night. Oh shit, here comes a ghost. Oh, we shouldn't have left the boat on. We're all fucking dead. It's every fucking B-rated 80s and 90s slasher film in a
Right,
fucking nutshell. You
right.
are welcome.
That's that's very true.
I'm trying to think. The whole doctor throwing himself. Actually, you know what? I think I have heard. Actually, you know where? Yeah, now I remember exactly this.
What?
Ghoul Intentions.
Oh
They
really?
talked, but J. Michael Tatum, I think, picked it. This is like probably one of their earlier episodes. He was really in depth about the architect. And Jamie Marquis just said that guy. I think Jamie had quoted when Michael said about the guy jumping, like that fucker is. That's just fucking batshit crazy. Creepy
Right.
motherfucker. That's just her fucking line. They're slipping on Muscal mules and copper cups. But yeah, I think it was Ghoul Intentions episode, which I have to get back and listening to. It's so fucking good. So what are your thoughts about it?
I mean,
And if
I'm
you
not
get your
going
vac,
there.
well, I mean, yeah, you probably get arrested if you get. They
Yeah,
sent you to Italy jail.
Italy jail.
It's just like, well, they put you. Well, fucking jails in Italy are like prisons. They're fucking like hardcore.
Right.
They'll lock you. They'll put a fucking guy who shoplift with a guy who's fucking murdered 20 people.
I
They don't
mean,
give a
they do
fuck.
that here.
Very true. What are you in hell? What are you in? Like that's pretty much probably how it is in hell too. What do you like? I only just stole my sister. I only just swiped my $20 off my sister's dress. I was gonna bring it back to her. Little kid in hell, and it's like the adult next to him. I fucking stabbed 20 people, and I loved it. And he's just like got ecstasy on his face and
Oh
shit.
my god.
I don't. I this is just comedy shit. I watch
Oh,
that they
hang
do this
on.
dark fucking
My
humor,
upload
and it's
tanked.
still
Hang
fucking
on.
stupid.
It's doing it's doing it again.
Anybody else have any? Well, before we get started on mine, anybody got any? Does anybody want to go to vacation there?
Okay, stream's back up. My upload keeps doing that, and I don't know why, and it's kind of pissing me off.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we missed about the last 15 seconds.
No. Does anybody else want to go watch that? Go visit that island. See if you hear a ghost. Because you know that the bell reminds me of the Irish folklore of the banshee.
Yeah.
Which, if anybody doesn't know, in Irish folklore, if people hear the wailing of the banshee, which is supposed to be like a hideous woman shrieking in the night, it signals somebody's gonna die, and most likely it's your fucking ass.
More
That's what
than
that bell.
likely.
Now, more than likely, fucking 100% of the goddamn time, unless you fucking like, oh, whoops, I slipped on a potato. Ireland. I can make fun of it. I'm part Irish. Some Irish guy's gonna like first stumble upon. It's like, oh, they're making fun of me. Yeah, making fun of you. We're brothers. We're practically brothers. Okay. Anyway, enough small talk. Okay. I, at the last second, my original one I was going to do was the Viskel X Murder House, but that just did mostly about murder. and I kind of flipped through this book, and I found a really good one. Mine is the very infamous Preston Castle in California.
I actually haven't heard of this.
I haven't either, so this is new to both of us.
Nice.
Well, that's the thing I like about it. That's why I picked up this. So I am actually reading from. This is a real magazine I picked up at a grocery store. It's called America's Scariest Places. It has Blood Cemetery, Mansion Murder House, The Shining Hotel is actually described in here. The Overlook Hotels and it's got graveyards, ghost towns, prisons, insane asylums, and terror mansions. Well, no, you can't buy it now because it was only on display until August 5th of this year.
Why was
So
it on display that early?
they usually do that. They'll display magazines for a couple months, and then once it's either if they don't sell out, they'll ship it back and they get the money. It's fucking convoluted. I don't know. I guarantee I'm gonna go walk in the food line. I'm gonna walk into Food Lion, and it's gonna be back up there.
Probably.
Oh, there's. I guarantee it. Okay. This is a short article, and then I found a longer, more descriptive thing of it. When boys went bad, they would be sent to the Preston School of Industry, once one of the country's best-known reform schools, whose wards included country singer Merle Haggard, actors Lee J. Cobb, and Rory Calhoun, and counterculture icon Neil Cassidy. But behind the tall red brick walls of this opposing Romanesque revival building, built on a hill in 1894 in Northern California's Golden Country, swirled dark and disturbing secrets of violence and murder. Known locally as merely the castle, the facility had 77 rooms, 43 fireplaces, and a tower festooned with pretty much a tower infested with festooned. Thank you. I can't read tonight. I've been reading too goddamn much today. With gargoyles. Wards got their introduction to life here by having their heads shaved and then being plunged into a bath full of chemicals to kill lice. Which I think they kind of still do that in prisons today, don't they?
Honestly,
they shave
I
your
don't know.
They shave your head and they hose you down, or is that? Am I just thinking?
I think they used to do that. I don't know if they still do that or not. Not a prison expert.
Right. I mean, they did it in the Shawshank Redemption. They didn't shave their head, but like they like threw powder on their fucking bare asses. Good movie, great movie, by the way. Anyway, infractions were dealt with swiftly, and this is in quotations. Contrary to what they said at the time, the boys were beaten, severely punished. Donnie Page, Preston Castle Formation, Dawson told the Sacramento Bee. So, and I quote, this is his quote, this is Mr. Page's quote, "Boys were whipped and thrown in solitary confinement. It was pretty bad." End quote.
Damn.
Like, fucking goddamn, really? Just what? So, I just wanted an extra slice of bread. Well, that's 40 lashes. It's like the fucking, what the hell's the goddamn book by Charles Darwin? Or Charles Dickinson?
Tale of
Please,
Two
sir.
Cities?
No, please, sir, I want some more. What?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember which book exactly
I don't remember it is. I only remember the only one I remember is the Family Guy with Stewie. Please, sir, I want some more. What? Please, sir, I want some more. More? All right, then. I go fill up the bowl. He's like a fucking laser gun. Now put on this dress.
Laser.
Now dance. That's the only thing I can fucking remember. Several wards. That's the kids in the reformery, the boys, died under suspicious circumstances, starting with a 20-year-old convicted burglar who was shot in the back by a guard during the escape attempt in 1990. Jesus Christ.
Shot in the back?
Just shot in the back because he tried to escape, which then again, this is before justice system, like where they can't really shoot without giving a warning.
Yeah.
I guarantee they did give him a warning. I mean, he was like trying to like open the door, and they just said like they probably didn't even like he was running. They said somebody probably said stop, and the guy who shot him was just like, ah, fuck this, just shot him in the back. $10 bounties were posted on the heads of an escapee, and the whole town would join the hunt. God damn!
Jesus.
At $10 back then in 1919,
I think it's about $100 now
it's
or
about
something.
$100 today because like $350 back then is about fucking 30,000 today. God damn!
It's
Why can't we be back?
the equivalent in purchasing power to about $145.15.
Hmm. Could you imagine somebody putting a $10 bounty today? In today's sense, $10 bounty if you find an escapee. Yeah, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
What
right.
was his what was his crime? He stole a candy bar from a store. Yeah, that's fine. I don't give a shit. Give the kid a fucking Milky Way. I'm gonna be happy. Other wards succumbed to disease or complications from surgical procedures conducted on the cold floors. Okay, this tells you that I've never read this fucking article. The fuck are they thinking? Oh, this kid's got a broken leg. Let's just fucking stitch him up here on the goddamn dirty floor. Yeah, there's piss and shit everywhere, but who gives a fuck? Just fucking cut him open.
Wow.
And cold floors, that's not good. You're
No.
freezing the body, the blood coagulates, and that can cause blood clots. Dumbasses. In all, 17 graves of boys populated the castle cemetery. After being shut down in 1960, the castle was abandoned, fixtures and furniture were sold off, and the grounds began a slow deterioration, the spirits taking the place for the troubled boys. With reports of disembodied voices and doors that slam on their own, no wonder Hollywood producers came here to shoot a 2017 horror film called Apparition. So the castle, Preston Castle, is still standing, and it does have ghost tours. And they filmed a movie inside of there called The Apparition, which
I've actually never not heard of the aberration.
I think I've seen trailers for it. I never went and saw it. Oh, here's a little side article: Brutal Murder.
Okay.
It's very short. Of the 657 wards questioned in head housekeeper Ann Corbin's murder, only one was charged: an African American teenager who was never convicted. Some suspected a staff member was the real killer. People say Corbin's ghost still turns to Preston Castle. That's interesting. That's it. That's the article in the magazine. Let me pull up the page. Oh, there's something interesting. The California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation announced on October 21st, 2010, that the facility was closed and a closing ceremony was held on June 2nd. So is it closed to the public? I thought it was. Hold on.
Probably.
Hold on. No, because they filmed Ghost Invest. They did Ghost Hunters in their 6th season.
Well, they could have gotten special permission to do that, but it's probably still close to the general public.
Nope. I just found a public tours website.
Nice.
It's Jesus Christ, $20.
I'd believe it.
Oh yeah, bring the kids. All right, here's the joke. Here's a laugh for you. Age 5 and under are free. Yeah, take a kid to a place where boys
Yeah,
were whipped and murdered,
yeah.
and a kid was.
Yeah, let's take our kids to a place that's probably haunted. Makes sense, right?
Oh! A guided tour is $20. A self-guided tour, meaning you just wander around this place, is 15. So if you want to pay $5 extra to have fucking, I
Hey,
don't
guide
know.
has to eat too.
They're probably already getting paid an hour for sitting around. Yeah,
Probably.
let's have Jody over there in her fucking in her denim cut off denim jeans and her button up flannel, smoking a cigarette to like, yeah, this place is fucking haunted. People got killed. Lights a cigarette up. got like a mug, like one of those big trucker mugs. It's like, is that alcohol? The fuck you talking about? It's fucking apple juice. Brandy or some shit. No, it's still open. Yeah, you can go take tours. There's actually a haunted tour starting right now.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. I think it had like an official closing, meaning they couldn't reopen it as a facility if they wanted to, like go in there, gut the place, and then refurbish it
Yeah.
to make it like a functional facility is what I think they're doing. Oh god damn!
What?
So it opened in June in 1890. When seven wards, minors under the guardianship of the state and not necessarily juvenile offenders were transferred there from San Quentin State.
You're cutting out.
Oh, I was saying that it first opened in June of 1894 when seven wards were transferred there from San Quentin State Prison.
Huh.
For everybody who doesn't know, San Quentin is one of the most dangerous fucking prisons in California. There's violent serial killers, gang members, gang bosses, drug dealers, all that shit are locked up in there.
See, but the question is, what the hell were boys doing at San Quentin?
They were minors under the guardianship of the state, but they weren't juvenile offenders. This is before San Quentin became what it was. This is in 1894.
Yeah.
It's a historical place by California. They made it to a historic landmark, number 867. So if you go to California and you look up, oh, what's historical landmark 867? Yep, it's the fucking It's the Preston Castle. Trying to find. Hold on one second, because that's just a brief article. I'm trying to find. Haunt reviews.
Haunt reviews.
Oh, they make it like a haunted house. Okay, so they make it's like a haunted house. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, there's the scene where the kid got shot in the back.
Wow.
No, they didn't have that. Haunt encounter. They do ghost encounters. Okay, here we go. Nowadays, many paranormal enthusiasts and professional ghost hunters claim that the Preston Castle is haunted. In other terms, there are spiritual visitors, that's in quotations, that reside in the castle. And Corbin spirit is often reported as one of the many spirits that visit the castle. Other reports claim that the spirits of the wards who were killed while at Preston or who died of health issues also visit the castle. This is an annual Paragon tale of the Preston that draws ghost hunters, paranormal enthusiasts from wide. Okay. Here's a little bit of history about the tours. Today, the Preston Castle Foundation offers tours to the public. These tours focus on the school's positive history, touching on some of the paranormal, and doesn't shy away from some of the tragedy.
Hmm.
And then it gives you a call number. This is the guy's the guy who wrote the article. This is his personal experiences. This is the first thing. My Preston Castle tour. When entering the town of Lone. Guess it's Lone, but it's an I instead of an L. The castle's Romanesque revival architect kicks you in a gut and steals your breath. In fact, I never seemed to fully catch my breath until I left the town. Turning onto Waterman Road seemed like I was entering a ghost town. It reminded me of my trip to the ghost town of North Bloomingville. All the buildings were empty and lifeless. That's a fucking positive note.
Interesting.
Very, very interesting. But I'm trying to find where's the creepy shit.
Give me the creepy shit, damn it.
Nobody wants the fucking creepy shit. I want the creepy shit. Oh well,
That's what
here's
people are here for.
I damn it! I should have just picked the fucking Sally house. That shit's like fucking terrifying. You know what? Fuck it. I'm throwing the Sally house in it as a bonus because this
Alright.
fucking place is terrifying. Here are some things that the Preston Castle in media. Preston Castle movie. In 2012, A Haunting at Preston Castle was released to a meager reception. The plot centers around three friends being trapped in Preston Castle. How many survive horrific, terrifying encounters? Preston Castle Ghost Adventures. 2009, Travel Channel's popular show Ghost Adventures visited the castle and brought more mainstream attention to Preston. The Lowe Files. Popular TV and film star Rob Lowe brought his show The Lowe Files to Preston in 2017, and it first aired in 2017, bringing more mainstream attention. Little final words from him. I'm only going to read this. Whenever you believe this place is haunted or not, you can't ignore its spooky appearance, ominous aura. Add in the history of this place where its impressive architect design, and you have what I call a tragic blend of history, mystery, and before we do Sally House, my thoughts, I go visit it. Just for the architect itself, really, and to learn some of the history. Because I was looking at the pictures, and the pictures, it does look like a gigantic castle you see, like, in, like,
Yeah,
18th, like,
I was looking at some of the pictures of it.
it looks really good, though. But anyway. So, I checked that out, but anyway. 2 seconds, I gotta get those. The Sally House. Oh boy, we're going into some fucking demons here, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking it up. Sorry, I didn't mean. I first heard about the Sally House from uh I can't fucking talk. I first heard about the Sally House from BuzzFeed Unsolved. They went to 3 different haunted locations, and this was the last one, which was a demonic haunting. It has been called not only the most haunted house in Kansas, but in the entire country. That's the first sentence. Built in the mid 1800s, it is a growing community of Atchison. I'm not going to name the street. It does have tours, but I'm not going to name the street. Has seen its fair share of owners through the years, including the family of a 6-year-old girl named Sally, who died in the home during a botched appendix surgery. Why the fuck do people get surgery in their homes?
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
know.
Wait,
Yeah, I know.
what time period was this?
It doesn't say.
If it was like early 1900s or before, that was pretty common. Because America didn't really start getting hospitals until like the 1920s, like reputable, safe hospitals, I should say. So it was more common for a doctor you trusted to come into your home and perform a surgery than to go to a hospital. Yay, research.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm trying to get to the. I'm getting to the scary shit. Okay.
Scary stuff, scary stuff, scary stuff, ding, scary stuff,
Ding.
scary stuff, scary stuff, ding, scary
Ding.
stuff, scary stuff, scary stuff, lunch.
It's the person who really writes Stephen King. This is the guy, like an eccentric guy in a pink house with a poodle. And he's smiling. Scary stuff. Scary stuff. Ding. Um. Okay. So Sally House. The historic timeline of the house is typical and does not reveal any tragic events that could trigger haunting of this magnitude. The Sally House is built from the Sally House is built for the Michael Finian was built. I guess they had a type. It was built for Michael Finian in 1867. In fact, the Finian family lived there off and on until 1947. Four deaths are confirmed to have taken place under natural causes. MC Finney in 1872, Charles James Catherine's father of Kate Finian in 1874, Richard Edward Finian in 1874, and Angus Finian 1939. After the Finians left the property, the house was owned and rented by various people. Oddly enough, stories of the house hauntings didn't start until Tony and Deborah Pickman rented the home in 1992. The Pickmans claimed that paranormal activity in the home began benevolently with objects moving in their child's room, lights going on and off, and eventually a visitation by the ghost of a little girl. However, as time passed, Tony Pickman became the focus of the violent haunting, which manifests in the form of scratches on his body, nightmares, and demonic oppression. I'll warn you about this right here before I continue. The reason why you see in like haunting shows demons scratch people with 3 scratches, like if you
Yeah,
ever know, like if you ever watch like a haunting stuff like that where it's like dramatic but like they get scratched, it's always 3 scratches.
yeah.
Supposed to be a sign the demon is mocking the Holy Trinity
Huh.
by giving you 3 scratches, and they'll scratch, they'll burn and sting like fucking hell for like an hour, and then they go away like nothing ever happened. It's fucking terrifying. I've seen a video of a girl, wasn't fucking fake. Could have been, but it wasn't like Hollywood, it wasn't like Paranormal Activity type filming of a guy literally getting scratched, and it was live on camera, and it was like in 2005.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard to edit something like that, but people are skeptical. I believe it. I
I
don't know.
mean, with enough time, you can edit anything.
Very true.
So
Yeah, true. I kind of, people will be skeptical always. They want, like, that's the problem with haunted places. People want proof, and then they have proof. Nah, bullshit,
yeah, pretty much.
fake.
Like, oh, here's proof. Oh yeah, that's fake. You wanted
No,
proof. Oh, it's fake. Bullshit. Come on.
hey,
You want
look, I got scratches. Bullshit. Your fucking cat did it. No, I don't have a cat. Well, your neighbor's cat. They don't have cats. Well, I don't know. You scratch yourself. Fuck you.
you scratch yourself. Fuck you, man.
In an attempt to get help from the haunting, the Pickmans invited numerous psychics to the home in the TV show Sightings. During the filming of the Sally House episode, world-renowned psychic Peter James was sent to the house to investigate. James claimed the ghost to be a young girl, and he was the first investigator to call her Sally. James picked up on visions that Sally died from acute appendicitis. At the hands of Dr. Charles Finney. The Pickmans, after living at the house for 2 years, eventually moved from the house and removed themselves from the haunting. Now here's the haunted history versus fact. Unfortunately, there's absolutely no factual evidence to support Peter James' story. His visions regarding the Sally House are utterly unsustainable by historical research, except for one thing. Dr. Charles Finian was a doctor. What we can determine is that the paranormal activity originated with the Pickmans until they moved in. There were no past claims of paranormal activity at the property. So the big question we ask is simple. Why is the Sally House haunted? Unfortunately, it's impossible to say what triggered the paranormal activity. Is it due to a demon or summoning ritual? We do know that a pentagram was found in the basement by the current owner, Les Smith, after the Pickmans moved out. There are no pictures of the pentagram before it was covered up with black spray paint. However, the picture of the pentagram demonstrates that another pentagram is on top of the black spray paint. This picture shows the satanic rituals have taken place at the house after the first pentagram was spray painted over. But by whom?
Hmm.
Here are some known sightings. Dark shadows, dark moving shadows that are visible to the human eye, unexplained voices that are heard or captured on audio, violent physical attacks, ectoplasm. I don't believe that one actually. I don't believe in like ectoplasm. They say fucking Ghostbusters.
Ectoplasm.
This isn't Ghostbusters or Martin Mystery. That's one thing I don't really believe in. I more believe in like the scientific thing of electromagnetic energy that ghosts will actually set that shit off. Electronic failures, yes. Strong electromagnetic field functions, cold spots, hot spots manifestation with no known environmental causes, nightmares, depression, poltergeist activity, feeling of being choked, demonic impression, demonic possession. There's some videos. I'm not going to play them because you won't be able to really fucking. I really don't want to be hearing demons go. Um, there was this that was on the episode of BuzzFeed Unsolved. The first pentagram that brought it up. Apparently, the owners before the Pikmins, or it was after the Pikmins, they moved in. They had no reports of any hauntings. When they moved out, all of a sudden, the landlord came by to kind of see what was going on. He found in the basement. He found a cauldron, a new pentagram, black robes, and it looked like a bowl full of blood, like dried up
What?
blood. Yeah.
What?
Now this gotta be fake, of
Not need to
course.
fuck. Yeah,
And of
right.
course, Shane fucking goes, a witch's head, a broom, 3 newts, and a toad eye. Like, you fucking asshole. I fucking love Shane in that show. This would be a dick. But they did actually film. They were actually going to spend the night, but Ryan could not do it because, number one, they did a thing where they had the flashlight where they asked the demon questions.
Yeah.
Right? Like having the flashlight turn on and off. And it was doing it, and Shane's laughing his ass off. But then, like, when he's talking, Ryan's like, we shouldn't have talked to it. It's like, and you hear a rolling, and it's like Shane's like, "That's a car," and then Ryan looks behind him on the counter. He's like, "No, that's the fucking flashlight." And the flashlight you see in the background rolling back and forth on a flat surface. I'm like, that is fucking terrible. And it's not like rolls a little bit; it's like rolling all the way to the wall, almost close to touching the edge of the wall, and then it rolls back, and then it kind of rolls. It just, I like, that's I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. That's like, yeah.
Jeez.
And they did what they call a ghost box session. What a ghost box is, it's a device that will scan through radio stations every 15th of a second.
Yeah.
So it's going through a lot of stations super fast. And if you're hearing more than 2 words, it's a ghost talk. It's most likely a ghost talking because it can't be radio interference. If it's one
Huh.
word, it could be radio interference. But if it's more words, it's most likely a ghost. They did that, and there was like fucking talking and shit. I was like, God fucking damn it. Another thing that apparently it wasn't on the website that I was told about in that episode was that apparently a woman spent the night at the house, and at the witching hour, she felt like she was being watched, and she was rolled over in her sleeping bag, and there was a fucking person laying right next to her, had like a sunken in face, and like just staring brightly at, like wide eyed at her, and she couldn't move. I would have been fuck this shit. I would not visit that fucking place. It is open for tours if anyone wants to go fucking tour where a demon is.
I mean,
Uh,
people do that.
yeah, I'm not. The whole okay, why would you think a little girl is haunting it? Demons will come into the appearance of being a small child to gain trust, and then once they gain enough trust, they will fucking swoop in. They're fucking very sneaky. So appearing as a small little girl in a white dress, calling herself Sally. That ain't no fucking Sally. That's a motherfucking demon. And the creepiest shit. I'll tell you this creepy shit because they did this show was on a lot of paranormal shows and I've watched them. The Pikmins having a child's room happening. They actually bought toys for Sally to play with because they thought it was an actual little girl. Bad fucking move.
Right.
The
Don't you
husband
know
was
that's
at
how
work.
those get possessed?
Yeah. No, no. Here's what it is. It's fucking craziest shit ever. So they bought a bunch of stuffed animals for her, little stuffed animals like beanie babies and shit like that.
Yeah.
Husband's at work. The wife, her sister, and the baby go run errands. They come back. They go to put the baby up for. They go to get diapers or some shit up there. All the stuffed animals for Sally are in the middle of the floor in a fucking perfect circle.
But
Yeah.
and there had been no one else in the house.
No signs of forced entry. Nobody broke in. The husband was still at work. And the husband, keep in mind, worked about an hour away, and they were only gone for maybe 25 minutes.
Jeez.
And they just come home. All these bears went in a chair in the back corner of that room, and in the middle of the floor in a circle, perfect circle. So of course they think, okay, haha, Sally's playing a joke on us. They put them all back. 2 minutes later, they go back up. The bears are back in the circle.
Wow.
I'm done. It's like nope,
It's like
nope.
that's like one of the other places I heard about on that podcast, the Birdcage Theater. Was like an old vaudeville theater in the old west where all the mining towns were.
Hmm.
And the theater, there had been many killings there because people got shot for over poker games and just feuds and stuff. And one of the sheriffs died there. And when they reopened the theater as a museum, they put a statue of the sheriff in one of the old balcony boxes, and they put
Hmm.
a cowboy hat on top of his head. And every morning when they go to open the theater, the cowboy hat would be in the middle of the theater floor. And then they were blaming the employees, like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" They're like, "We didn't do it." So they kept putting it back, and every morning, be right back there. And then the historian came in and was like, "Yeah, he's in the wrong box." So they moved him to the right box, and then the hat stayed on his head.
All right, I'm gonna be a little skeptical.
I just thought it was funny.
I know it's funny as shit. Don't get me wrong. My skeptical is I don't think it was the employees. Probably a draft.
I don't know.
Unless it's like it was like perfectly landing in the middle of
Yeah, it was like in the middle. It was like the balcony box is above the
right,
theater floor.
right,
It was
right.
like smack in the middle of the floor, like perfectly in the middle.
Okay, then that because I was saying if it's like a gust of wind and it's like always in the
Yeah,
middle of the floor,
because
but it's like in different
because
positions. That's
that was their first thought, and they're like, okay, who left a window open? So they checked, and all the windows were closed. And they did that check every night, and every morning it would be right in the middle of the floor. So, and
uh
then
oh god.
going, since you did a bonus thing, I'm gonna do a bonus thing. I might as well keep going on that segue.
All right.
Um,
Well, before you go into that segue, keep in mind also if anybody's interested in going to see the Sally House, I'm guaranteeing your ass isn't gonna go see it.
nope.
No. Uh, there are still possessions in the house, including all the fucking stuffed animals, and they're always in a perfect circle because they just said fuck it. The pentagram isn't down there. Like you can see a black spray paint mark where it was spray painted over twice. They say that the demon is actually probably lurking in the basement. That's just probably like its home. Like that's kind of like its base because of
Yeah.
the fact there's a strong
Ah,
electromagnetic.
base. And dad jokes.
Jokes. They're saying because a lot of the electrical equipment is down there, like the breaker box and stuff like that is down there.
Yeah.
And demons feast on electromagnetic stuff, which is where there's science into paranormal hauntings and demonic hauntings. So they say that's like the strongest point where the demon is, because one of the satanic rituals that possibly went on in there into because of the strong electromagnetic field. Okay, my opinions. That Sally House is fucking haunted by a motherfucking demon. They need to fucking demolish it. Pave it over, turn it into a fucking Arby's.
An Arby's.
I don't know. Just fucking either
See, but
pave it
the
over.
see, but the problem is, even if you destroy it and pave it over, if the demon were still somehow able to stay in the area, and then you built something else on top of it, it'd be like, hey, I'm gonna possess this now.
Just
So
build a pot. Just build a. Just build like porta potties over it.
porta potties.
So this way the demon's like, aha, I'm gonna scare you. Ah, shit. It's shit coming down on it. I
Oh
was gonna
God,
tell.
it's in my raccoon wounds.
So, um, I was gonna actually. There was two other places. Bobby Dunbar's bar. It's another haunted place by demons too, possibly. And I was gonna talk about the Annabelle doll, but because of the fucking movie and all that shit, I don't want to talk about it. It's well known,
Yeah, they
but
just made what, the third movie about it?
yeah, but that's not really what the Annabelle doll. Like, you know what the Annabelle? Do you know what the Annabelle doll really looks like?
No,
It's a Raggedy Ann doll.
of course.
Yeah, yeah. It's not that creepy ass thing you saw like um in the Annabelle movies. No, no, no. It's a Raggedy Ann doll. But there was a story that there was a guy like Ed and Lorraine Warren. God rest both their souls. But Lorraine Warren actually passed early this year. She passed away. Um, that Ed and Lorraine would do the tours, and this guy and his girl were driving on a motorcycle. They went up, and the guy was laughing and making fun of, like tapping on the glass, telling the kid Annabelle to do something. And Ed said, "I think you should go," and he left. And the girlfriend recanted this, that they were driving on the motorcycle and they were laughing about it, and then all of a sudden he control of his bike and he died.
Wow.
Yeah, headfirst into a tree. So they said the Annabelle doll did it. There's a priest that goes once a week to bless it.
Wow.
Yeah, well, he blesses the entire room, because the Warren's son still does the tours and all their haunted stuff.
Yeah.
But he super like blesses the shit out of the fucking Annabelle doll.
I'm gonna super bless it.
Oh no, like fucking holy water, all that shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy as fuck. All right, continue with the cowboy hat story.
Okay, cowboy hat story's done. But
Oh,
but continuing on that sort of vein, there when the Birdhouse Theater was in business, it was only open for like 8 years, I think. And when it was in business, they had like poker games and everything in the main area, but they also
mm-hmm.
had them down in the basement. And it said that the world's longest poker game, continuous poker game, was held there, and it lasted over 8 years. So, but
Oh fuck, were they pissing in fucking jars or some shit?
probably,
Fuck this shit.
but
Okay, but what year was it open?
1882, I think, is when it opened.
Where is it located at?
Tombstone, Arizona.
Okay, it's open
But
8 years.
so
The
yeah,
service here stinks. After
ooh,
7.5 years, the service here stinks. The poker games, there's an awful smell coming from the basement. It smells like piss and
but
shit.
also what happened down there is they were basically the showgirls who were performing the vaudeville acts would basically whore themselves out for money down there, and people would
I
die
see.
down there. And you'll occasionally see like ghosts of people running away from the rooms, or ghosts of men going into the rooms, or sometimes you'll smell cigars and whiskey down there from where they held the poker games. Oh,
I can see that.
little segue,
Yeah.
but also another cool place. You ever heard of the Winchester Mystery House?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Like she kept building rooms
Yeah,
because it was. Yeah, that's more widely known.
yeah. I
That's
just
one
think it's
that's widely
cool.
known. I want to go visit it actually, to be honest. And just
That would be cool. It reminds me of the Mystery Shack from Gravity Falls a little bit.
it'd be funny. I want to laugh. It's like I want to know. I want to ask if I ever go to the West Winchester house. I want to say, has anybody ever got lost going to the bathroom here? And the guy's like, yes,
I
like a
wouldn't
serious
doubt
look.
it.
It's like there's a sign with like bathroom. You open it, it's just a fucking bricked over door. It's
I
like,
wouldn't
got a
doubt it.
shit Chipotle.
I mean, you
and the
would be in California.
and the tour guide's just sitting at the front desk, like, and he's like, the bathroom's actually right behind him, and there's a big sign saying bathroom. He's just like, it's like, why aren't you telling him? He's like, I want to see how long it lasts. I'm betting on this. He's got 5 minutes. So he can last 5 minutes. I get 200. Where's the bathroom?
$200.
There's somewhere. It's probably what the fucking tour guides do in their spare time. It's like, let's see how long it takes somebody to the bathroom. They had that shit movie. It was really shit. I actually watched it. It was fucking. It
Oh,
was
really?
bad. I mean, it's just too many jump scares to the point you're just like, okay. It's like,
Rats.
no, not like Man Imitate. That was actually fucking terrifying. You know, it's just like you jump at the first couple, and it's just like jump scare, jump scare, look at jump scare.
It didn't space them out or anything?
No,
Wow.
it felt like every like it might have been like every like 20 minutes, but 5 minutes there was a jump scare. Like she could be walking down a hallway and there's creepy music, and it's like he's behind her, he's behind her. Oh, look, it's a hand. It's just some friendly guy. Fucking
Wow.
stupid. They could have did so much with that movie. They could have. But yeah, I think that's it. There's nothing
Yeah, I
else.
think that's it.
We're still gonna be live. We're gonna end the stream here, and we're gonna jump on some Dead by Daylight, and
Yeah, I
maybe
gotta switch some stuff around.
and then
But
we're gonna
this part,
probably
yeah,
play
podcast
some,
is done. We get
play
some
even
stuff switched